Welcome back to this edition of the Eagle Sports Coaches Show. I'm here with head softball coach David Williams. Welcome to the show, David.
Thank you.
We're going to talk a little bit about their remainder of their spring season and some of the recruits that they have signed for the 2014 season. So in the fall, you've discussed Casey Giles, Kayla McGuffey, Riley Stokes, Carly Thompson, and Megan Tomorik. So recently you've added 3 more to that list in Stephanie Satterfield, Tana Seifer, and Nikki Hinckley. So just in general, what do you think of this recruiting class?
Well, I mean, I think it's a well-rounded recruiting class. Obviously, we had to bring in a good-sized class because we're losing 7 seniors. So we have 8 new players coming in. I think we have – we're trying to replace every position that we're going to be losing. The bulk of it's outfield. We've got 4 senior outfielders, so we do have 4 outfielders coming in. We have a first baseman coming in. We have a middle infielder coming in, a pitcher coming in. So, with that being said, we're kind of we have 2 pitchers coming in, sorry. With that being said, we're replacing what we're losing with the seniors that are going out this year. So, hopefully they can come in and compete for spots along with the returners. And, obviously, some of our returners will have to help them and they'll push some of the returners. But hopefully, with a well-rounded class, I mean, there's a little bit of everything in there. One thing that we do have in that class, we actually have 3 left-handed hitters this year, and all of them are seniors. So it would leave us with no left-handed hitters next year. But with this class that's coming in next year, there are actually 4 left-handed hitters. So we do have 4 left-handed hitters coming in, which is an offensive element that I felt like it was a big need to replace. So we're able to do that, and we're actually adding 1 more extra left-handed bat to the lineup. We're adding another pitcher to the pitching staff. And then everything else, we're just kind of filling in with what's graduating.
And coming in, Tana Seifer and Stephanie Satterfield actually already have collegiate playing experience. They're transferring in. So can you talk a little bit about how that will help having that experience?
Well, in Tana Seifer's case, Tana, she plays in a very, very tough Florida JUCO system. All the teams are extremely competitive. For her, the competition she faces just in that JUCO system is really good and will help prepare her. So getting to pitch there, she pitched last year alongside a young lady who was playing at Florida Gulf Coast this year. They were a great 1-2 combination. So last year she was able to kind of be one of 2 people in a pitching rotation. This year she is actually, I guess, their main pitcher. There is another girl that's throwing about the same amount of innings, but it seems like she's got a few more. So she's kind of been in a rotation. But with that conference, like I said, it's extremely competitive. So her throwing 100-plus innings each year and doing well. She was all-conference last year. I'm pretty sure she'll probably get it again this year. Based on her stats, they're better this year. So, just having that experience in that JUCO system and facing some players that are going on to some major Division I conferences, SEC conferences, I think that's really going to help her when she transitions here. As far as Stephanie goes, once again, the Georgia JUCO system, extremely competitive. She hit very well last year. Her numbers are down a little bit this year. They haven't played quite as many games. They've had the same rain issues we've had. But the other thing is, too, everybody knows who she is now. So she's not seeing as many pitches. But she is a big left-handed bat. Was actually the Georgia High School Player of the Year as a senior in high school. And she also broke the single-season home run record her senior year of high school. So I think that having her bat in the lineup, for some power would be really beneficial. Considering we're losing an Amber Riddle, a Kayla Ashbrook, I can't, Liz Wagner. A lot of our seniors right now have hit home runs. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about replacing some power, I think she's a good candidate for that. Good left-handed bat. Georgia produces a lot of great players. So just the experience she's had just in high school, travel ball, and now junior college, I think that will help her transition here.
And you still have a large junior class, up-and-coming seniors. So even with this amount of younger freshmen coming in, you have that leadership still in the program for those athletes coming in.
Yeah, we have 6 juniors. They'll be seniors next year, obviously. So hopefully they'll be seniors. But
We always hope.
yeah,
Yes.
we always hope. But yeah, we have 6 young ladies that'll be seniors next year. So obviously that still leaves us a large senior class, which will be great from the leadership standpoint. And then we'll have several other returners, 7 other returners to join the freshmen next year. So, and really even looking at, we talked about Tana Cipher and Stephanie Satterfield, they're coming in as junior college transfers. So it's not like we're bringing in 8 freshmen. We have 6 freshmen and 2 junior college transfers. So, we're still going to, be able to have a large upper class representation with 6 seniors. And then we'll be adding 2 more people to what would be our junior class next year. So we'll have 5 juniors next year. So, I think as far as leadership experience, we'll still have that in place. But that should help guide the younger players as they develop and continue to grow and then help this program.
All right. Well, you're listening to the Eagle Sports Coaches Show. We're here with head softball coach David Williams. Let's move on to talk about this year's team that's actually here. Over the weekend, you split doubleheaders with UT Martin and Southeast Missouri. So let's talk a little bit about the UT Martin series. In the first game, Katie Post picked up another win this season, and that's her 15th complete game of the season and her 4th shutout. So talk about her performance this weekend.
Once again, we talked last week about how Katie's developed and really helped this team this year. I can't think of any better way, I guess, to kind of talk about how she's grown as a pitcher and how she can step up at certain times. The UT Martin victory, it was a 4-0 shutout. She only gave up 3 hits, struck out 8. And now the defense made some great plays behind her and really had her back. And she never got, rattled, never lost composure. She got herself out of some really tough situations. And with the help of the defense, they got her out of some situations. But to only give up 3 hits to UT Martin and strike out 8 and then shut them out on top of it, phenomenal pitching performance, phenomenal. And she's had quite a few of those this year. I can think of Campbell was an unbelievable one. But, just once again, her growth as a pitcher and how much she's improved and how much she's bringing to the team, I can't ask her to do any more.
And she's that pitcher that she pitches a complete game, and you can call upon her in game 2 to come back and help the team out.
We've been doing that a lot. We've been doing a lot. And, last year, we didn't do that as much, but she is definitely a better conditioned pitcher this year. She's able to throw more innings. And I think one of the biggest things is she wants to be out there. She has the mentality. She wants to be out there. She wants to help the team any way she can. So, we have relied on her a lot to throw game 1 and then come back and throw a couple innings, 2-3 innings at the end of game 2. Mm-hmm. So we've relied on her a lot to do that lately.
And one of the things that I took away from UT Martin being up in the press box is their radio actually said that Katie looks like a person that she just wants the ball all the time as a pitcher. So it's got to be great having a pitcher on that will come on in any situation and give it their all.
Definitely. Well, if you're going to put somebody in the circle, you definitely want them to want the ball.
Right.
I really think she's at that point right now. I think she really wants to have the ball in her hand. I think she wants to be the one to help this team win games. I think that, she's looking at it and she's got, a few opportunities left in her career. She's trying to make the most of them, and that's what I see from her right now.
All right, and another great performance this weekend in that series was senior Sam Woodall. She came away, went 6 for 8 on the weekend. And she's not necessarily a batter that's going to hit home runs all the time, but she does her job at moving other runners around the bases.
You talk about her not hitting home runs. No, she's not. She's not a power hitter. But for some reason lately, she's showing some power. She's hitting it deep off the fence, getting some doubles. She's been very consistent, swinging away, slapping, doing a lot of different things. She's been able to get on base for us, start the offense, get things going. She's been hitting it really well. She's been doing really well. 6 for 8 on Saturday. I think she had maybe 4 hits on Sunday. I'm not quite sure. But, 10 hits in 2 days, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and moving on to Sunday's games, an exciting one in the first game, came back and won that 7-6. But we talked after Saturday about getting through those innings and starting off with the lead, kind of, getting behind, and then the team persevered and came back at the end of that one. Started off by a home run by your catcher, McKenna Bartko, to start that comeback. So talk about how it is in the dugout before an inning like that. How is the team getting amped for that inning?
Well, one thing before we even talk about that, I think one of the tough things is with this non-divisional format that we have now, where you play 4 games and you have to travel 2 hours between sites, and then you wind up starting the third game, with less than 24 hours after you started the first game. It really takes a toll on you physically. So at that point, it becomes more of a mental thing. Both teams were tired. Both teams were tired, and you could tell. Hence the hits and the runs that both teams scored in the series on Sunday. But I think one of the greatest things is when we look in our dugout right now, at any point in the game, you don't see any doubt. They feel like they're going to win the game. They feel like they have a chance to win the game, and they believe they can win the game. I told them after the game, one of the greatest things that I took away from it, and I was most proud of them for, was the fact that they never quit, they never gave up. We were down 3, I guess, going into that inning, and we easily could have just been like 1, 2, 3 games over, let's move on. But I challenged them, they challenged themselves. McKenna led off the inning with a home run, which was great. From there, it kind of got rolling a little bit, and then you start getting hit after hit after hit. Next thing you know, we've got the lead. And Southeast Missouri's looking around, kind of trying to figure out what's going on. We go out in the bottom half of the 7th, 1, 2, 3. Game's over. We come away with win in game 1. Game 2, we almost pulled it off again. It was one inning. One inning that got us in game 2 was the first inning in game 2. If we could have managed inning 1 a little better in game 2, we would have had the second win there. But I don't want to be in a position where we're trying to rally late.
Right.
We need to try to get those runs early in the game and score them often so that we're not trying to rally. But it's still tremendous effort from our team. I think that one of the biggest things, like I said, is the mentality. Never quit, never give up. We made them earn their outs, and that was important. We always felt like we had a chance.
All right, and moving on in the schedule, this week you're scheduled to play Tennessee Tech on Wednesday, tomorrow, and for a doubleheader that was rescheduled from earlier in the season. Unfortunately, that long string of rainouts. And this weekend you have Belmont in a 3-game series, which is also your senior day for your 7 seniors. So what can we expect this week with those matchups?
Well, hopefully Tennessee Tech gets played. There's an 80% chance of rain tomorrow, so we'll see what happens. We may have to move it again. But with both Tennessee Tech and Belmont, I think these are pivotal games for us. They're divisional games, obviously, but both of them can help position us within the standings. Right now, we're in the tournament. We want to make sure that we're definitely in the tournament.
Right.
So I think they're really pivotal games for us. I think they're games that we match up well against the other team. We're still leading the conference in hitting, and I always joke about it. As long as we bring our bats and we're swinging and we're hitting the ball and we're putting up runs, we always have a chance.
Yep.
So more of the same. We've got to hit the ball. We've got to put runs across the plate, and we've got to hold them on defense. But I think we match up well against both teams. Just looking at them on paper, the crazy thing about the OVC this year and what I've seen, there's a lot of parity. There's a little bit of separation with a couple teams, but everybody else across the board, it could be anybody beats anybody on any given day. What you may not have seen in the past as far as some teams beating another team, you're seeing that this year. So I think it's fairly even across the board. So you don't want to take anybody lightly. You don't want to underestimate anybody. But what you want to do is you got to focus on taking care of yourself and making sure that you do the things that you're going to be successful at. And hopefully at the end, you're ahead on the scoreboard and you get the win.
Right. All right. Well, good luck this weekend,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Thanks for chatting with us. We'll be back for more on the Eagle Sports Coaches Show.